So guys, here's a little bit of a clue on what you should be doing with this new banner that's coming up. Uh, Final Fantasy II is coming through, and I'm going to show you exactly what you should and should not be doing when it comes to the banner. This is coming from definitely from a free-to-play player's point of view. So if you're kind of frugal, just like I am, about pulling and saving your tickets and your lapis, well then I'm the person to help you out with that. Um, let's click over into our next thing over here. So the new banner that's coming out is Leon, Guy, the Emperor, and Furion. Um, all in all, I already did some research on these particular characters, and really, you only care for one of them, depending on who you pulled previously. Um, so if you're somewhat new, for the most part, Leon, eh, I'm not very impressed by his moveset, to be honest. Here it is right here. Uh, why do I not have it? Derp. Derp. Again, I'm still not impressed by it. I mean, there's nothing really special about what you see here. Um, I mean, he's a 4-star base, goes on to 5-star, doesn't even get a 6-star, so that's kind of like a meh already. When you're pulling 4-stars, you should really be getting a 4-star base. I mean, you should be really digging for a 6-star. So again, I don't really find him to be worth it. I mean, he does have a reasonable weapons list and an armors list, but again, I don't really think it's great. Dark physical damage, another load right here. It's to one enemy, nothing really big. Attack 20%, 20% on attack and defense. Hypnotize at confuse at 30%. This is going to be decent for the arena, but there are other options that are much better than what Leon can offer. Dark charge. Why waste your attack? Why waste your turn to charge? You can just attack twice. It's easy enough. Battle prep. Pretty decent, not bad of a skill. I mean, plus 30% and 20% with equipped with a sword. You're going to be equipped with a sword for the most part because those are the better weapons right now. Um, Blackout at 1.9 times 1.9 times physical dark damage. Again, it's okay, especially when you're doing things with that weak to dark. HP standard stuff. I mean, barrage is really not the thing you're looking for. It's too random for the most part. Um, Maverick is not terrible. It's good for utility, 50% to attack caster, but I mean, really, you can be getting 45% already attack and defense with Emboldened. So, I mean, it's for an extra 5%, it's not terribly great. And Phantom, 2 physical attack damages to all enemies. This is not terrible. This is pretty decent for the most part, but I still think there are better options out there. If you do happen to pull this particular character, I mean, and it's really in your needing an attacker, he's not going to be terrible, but it wouldn't be something I would try to focus on. Um, Next up, we have Guy. Now, we looked at Guy. I looked at Guy earlier, and I wanted to vomit. It's there are again much better options out there, um, but we'll go through the abilities anyways. I mean, again, I mean, draw attacks being. I mean, this is. I'm not sure if it's actually it's an ability. It's a special ability. So you basically can no, it's a passive. Ain't that something? So this is built into him right away. So that's not that bad. So if you need a tank, again, but I mean, Cecil is a 3-star base and somewhat easily accessible. He's definitely a better option. Full force, 1.6 to all enemies, not bad. Um, I mean, you have other characters that are going to take that turn, so there's really nothing terrible, nothing great about this here. HP Stroll, great for explorations. Latent potential, meh, nothing great. I mean, yeah, it's 50% buff when he goes below 50%, but again, this particular character is not great when it comes to attack. He's mainly for defense. So you're gonna want to build him like with health if you do happen to pull him and you need a support and or tank. I think he's more of an off tank of anything. Going through, we got some pretty standard stuff, and he does have a full break. So if you are looking for a full break and you do happen to pull him and you need that support, he will fit that support niche. There are other better options, but he's not bad when it comes to a full breaker. Nothing really special about him beyond that. That's pretty much it. The next one on the list we're going to go for would be Emperor. Now, this is your 5-star base. Your 5-star base going up to a 6-star. I did some comparisons between him and some other 6-star mages. He is a decent 6-star mage if you do not have a 6-star mage. I mean, his weapons are exactly what you need of a mage. I mean, you got rods and staffs, and you got your cloths and your hats and accessories. I mean, that's great. But we'll go through the stuff right here. Time Stopper, nothing really mitigates this, so that's going to be a 30% right across the board. That's going to be great in arenas, so if you do happen to pull him for arenas, it's going to be good. Subdue. It's not bad. Unless you're looking for a defensive thing, a defensive caster, and honestly, you're going to want casters like this to just be straight out damage dealing. Then you have your MP plus. I mean, that's not bad at all. The Fire from Below, it seems like it's going to be somewhat consistent of what Dark Fina's Dystopia is. Except this one's fire damage. The big difference in it, it's only targetable by one enemy. You can only target one. So it's kind of I mean, single target's not. If you're looking for single target damage, that's not terrible at all. But again, it's not terrible, but nothing great. It's kind of average, if anything. Present your offering. You do 50% damage to ally to recover 100 mana. 100, not 100%, just 100 mana. We have ways to get around this. Why would you want to do HP damage to yourself? We have means of doing this. It's called Osmos. This 6-star is not looking that great already. So he does have 30% magic boost, which is nice as an innate passive. And then you have your dual black magic. Now, needed for a 6-star. Absolutely needed. It's what makes a great mage, is the dual cast. I'll Never Die. 10%. That's pretty good. You know, you have a means of getting your mana back. That's great. Insolent Fools. Not being targeted by 75% is huge for any mage. So that's a massive plus on him. Control. Ugh. Ugh. What I don't understand is why would you want to reduce your spirit by 20% just to gain 100? I mean, 100 is pretty massive. Pretty massive. But I don't think I would want to waste a turn to do that, especially with him. Starfall looks pretty good. The only thing that I don't like about it is that it's an ability, not a spell, not a black magic spell. So you can't double cast this. Now, if you look at Ultima, Ultima has a bigger multiplier, but a smaller, spirit bypass. So I'm just about this. I'm not a big fan of it. If you do the math, you're going to do far more damage with Ultima. You'll spend a lot more mana, but you'll definitely do more damage with Ultima. So, I'm thinking still Dark Fina is the way to go. If you have her, great. If you do happen to pull him, he might be able to prove you well. So let's look at the magic setting. So he can cover the biggest basics, right? Fire, blizzard, thunder, arrow, which is pretty good for the sense. The only, he does cover like the good basics. So I'm not discarding him completely if you don't have a 5-star base or a 5-star base and needing of a mage. So if you do happen to pull him, he could prove you well. But Flare, I don't understand. They gave you an ability that has a reasonable multiplier and reduces water resistance, but yet you don't have water spells. If anything, I would I wouldn't even want to use them in my own party. I have two Dark Phenas. I mean, being free to play, I got lucky, but I would not dare use this character in replacing Dark Fina. So if you have Dark Fina, I would continue using her. I would not replace her with this particular character. Limit bursts, not bad, not bad at all. I mean, it will help if you do cast it and they do and it reduces their elemental resistances, and that way you can just continue to piling on the damage from Aruga, or any other magic spell that he has. But all in all, I'm a little disappointed by this 6-star. I think he's missing a little bit of oomph. If you do pull him and you need a mage, great. Definitely work him up, but I would not pull for this particular one. There are so many other mages to try to attempt to pull for, to be honest. So I would hold on to your Lapis if you're looking to have a 5-star base mage. Two more characters I wanted to talk about. First one was going to be Maria, finally getting her 5-star raise. I looked at some of her abilities, and oh my god, this is not even updated. But there's other options for casters. There are better. She just came out way too late, and we have Fina, we have White Witch Fina, we have Refia, we have Rosalina, we have Roselia. I'm sorry, Roselia. We also have Lena. I mean, there are so many different options. I would not waste your time trying to raise this one up. Lastly, Furion, the man that we're looking to pull. 3-star base, easy to get your hands on. I would absolutely pull simply your dailies just to get Furion if you do not have him already. He is not going to be that character that you're looking for to inside of arenas. He's going to be that one character that you're going to want to use in PvE type situations. You need something for the killer abilities, and he covers just about every single one of them. The biggest drawback to Furion is if you don't have a lot of trust masteries. Like, I only have like a couple trust masteries, and one of them being dual wield. You need dual wield for Furion to work properly. He'll do okay. I mean, he'll do okay in most situations, but for him to really excel, he has to have trust masteries. I mean, look at all these killer abilities. They're massive. And the biggest problem that he runs across is like an AoE. Like, he does have an AoE, but he doesn't have like an AoE, like a good AoE option. His biggest move really comes about is his Friendbriar, which ignores 25% defense with a multiplier 1.8. And more than likely, you're going to have that killer ability attached to him. I would personally be digging for the Gigantic Axe that you can get from the new event that's coming out. And maybe dual wield with either a katana or a sword of some sort. I mean, you do have the axe, which gives the 30% right here, and then you're going to have a sword that'll give an additional 20% on top of it. So you can really raise his attack like through the roof, but he's really, really dependent on having trust masteries. It's pretty much all the information I got for you. If you like, just hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll continue to try to put out more videos. Okay? Take care.